Yo, what's up? So today we're gonna learn about how to spice up your chord progression. We're gonna talk about some essential elements in music and talk about chords and harmony, something very fundamental that is super important for writing, for creating, for analysis, for soloing, for music. I'm gonna take 3 chords in the key of C, super simple. So C major 7, yo, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Yes. Then F major 7, then F minor 6, which is basically F minor with a little. Now, it's cool, you know, it sounds good. But I can make it sound a little bit more interesting with some more tension. Option number 1. And the way I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna add a chord in there. So I'm gonna play after the chord C major 7, I'm gonna play C7. More specifically C7-9. Now this chord is what we call secondary dominant, and this is a very important term in music. It's basically meaning that we're targeting one of the chords within the key, for example F major, and we're kind of reinforcing that harmonic degree. F, G, A, B, C. Alright, that's the 5th degree of F, so I'm basically adding the 5th degree here to reinforce that. So it's basically a dominant of one of the degrees in the scale, and we can do that trick for any of them, but check this out. C major, C7, F minor. It's very simple, and you guys know this progression form about a million songs, but it's very effective, you know, it sounds really good. I want to go over all these options together. So we're gonna find out what are the options of secondary dominant within C. The reason I want to do it is not because it's a cool theoretical exercise, which is also true, but it's just a super strong tool to write music. So we can think about going from C major to D minor. Option number 2. Pluck that like button and subscribe. So instead of doing that, which is a great progression, 1 to 2, but I can add another chord in between, and that chord would be A7. So the A7, 5 off, so A7 is the 5th degree of D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I'm going from D, E, F, G, A, so that's the 5th degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty simple. So then I know that this is the 5th of D minor, so I'm basically using that A7, which is not in the key of C major, because we know that in key of C major we have a minor. So then I'm changing that A minor, that 6th degree, to 6, 7, but the functionality of that is basically 5 off 2. So we have 1, A7, 5 of 2, D minor, G. Again, this is super simple way. I'm just literally doing the process of just understanding what are the options right now in C major, but I can already be like, oh cool, it's almost a song. Now all these progressions can be altered, right? So I can say, well, you know, A7 is really cool, but I actually want to do it with first inversion. Whoa. So I get right? So it's very simple and useful way to create, and we'll talk about inversion later, but right now let's do pluck that like button and subscribe. Option number 3. So let's figure out how to get to E minor. We're gonna start from E major, and then we need the 5 of E minor. So again, I can go from E minor, from the chord, the note E, just go 5 steps up within the key of C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So E, F, G, A, B. So I'm getting to the note B, and I need to alter that, so to B7. Again, it could be also B major, but it sounds kind of a little nicer when I add the 7. It's even more kind of a strong preposition to go to that place, right? Just adding more tension. I can also add more colors, but we'll talk about it later. So for now, we're doing C major 7, B7, E minor, maybe F, C, B7 with this E open string. So you see, it's almost a song, and of course I can use some inversion, use some more rhythms, you know, not just guitar. So this is just a basic idea of how to, you know, kind of find new, basically an idea to understand basic harmony and then explore a little further using those secondary dominants. Now there are many very intricate devices that we're taking from, you know, a lot of styles in music, whether it's modal music, classical music, contemporary music, jazz. We can get a lot of different devices from all these styles of music, and we'll talk about more, but some of them are a little more intricate, so I'd like to start here with secondary dominant to understand that fully, and then we'll go further. Third option, we did D minor, we did E minor, F. So I'm gonna do F again. So again, C major, and then I need to get to F, so C. So from F, what is the fifth of F? What is the fifth of F? F, G, A, B, C. I did it in C major, right? So I'm just thinking of changing that note to C7 from C major, and we already kind of talked about it a minute ago. So then we're going to play C7, we can add the 9, so it's kind of more lush, and then going to F minor, it will sound like this. So again, very functional, very simple, but very effective. Option number 4. Next one, we need to get to G. So G, what is the fifth of G? G, A, B, C, D, D. Great, turning that to, voila, D7, 3, C, D7, 9, G, G13, maybe flat 9, yo, please subscribe and like. So we can do that also without all the tension. It would sound like this. So C major 7, going to D7, 5 of 5, G7. Now all these options of inversions are gonna sound really dope. So we'll get to that in a second. Option number 5. And then the last one we're going to talk about is going to A minor to the 6th degree. So how do we get to A minor? The same trick, we go to the note A and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, literally up the scale. This is E, the note E, we're playing E7. So 3, 4, C, 1, E7, 5 of 6, that's it. These are the 5 secondary dominant within the key of C major, but we can also again add inversions. We can also use the 7th degree, which is at diminished. I'll show one example, but this also works well with all of them. So if I want to go to D minor, so instead of playing the 5 off, I can use the 7th off. What is the 7th off? So D minor is my target. What is the 7th of D minor? Half step below, C sharp, diminished. Pluck that like button and subscribe. So if I'm playing C sharp diminished, I'm basically playing the 7th off D minor. So that means I can again use one chord, this one dominant or one diminished chord, which are basically both functioning as a tension, as a dominant chord leading to that target point to get there. So it's pretty cool. C major, 7th of D inversion, D minor, 7/9, G sus. So what I just did there basically diminishes a symmetrical chord, so every minor third it will sound basically use the same note just with inversion. So I just did the inversions of that, and the shape is really the same, so it's really easy. It just sounds kind of cool. There is this slight movement and then I'm resolving it back. So again, C major 7, C sharp diminished, D minor 7, you can add the 9 there to the G sus. Ain't no nothing like PG tips. So now we're going to use one more device. In this case, I'm going to add the 2 before the secondary dominant. So let's take the first example, going from C to C7 to F minor. Now, instead of just going from C major 7 to C7, which sounds really cool, I can also add the G minor 7/9 also to the C7 to F. And what's happening there, I'm basically adding a 2/5 to that degree, right? So I'm kind of pluck that like button and subscribe. So I'm basically reinforcing the 4th degree, the F major 7, and going there, I'm adding the C7, but now I'm going to add the G minor, that's the 2 in the key of F. G minor is the 2, so I'm adding that before. Sound like this. Right, so it's very simple, but it's very effective. So the homework for this week is to write 2 songs using secondary dominant. Now you don't have to start with the chord C major. I did it just because I kind of want to make everything really clear. You can do whatever you want. And if you'd like, you can leave a comment with the Dropbox or WeTransfer link, and I'll check it out. And if there's an email there, I can also comment and say like what I think. Just make sure that if you're sending stuff, make it under a minute so it's not crazy. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to check out what you guys were doing. And it doesn't have to be in C major, it could be anything. Just make sure you're using the secondary dominant in that progression. And the chord progression could be 3-4 chords, that's totally fine. Just want to like make sure everything is happening, everything is tight. I'm Rotem Sivan. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for hanging. Please leave a comment, please subscribe, please share this with a friend that might need to know more about secondary dominant or harmony or jazz or guitar or life. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.